I would like to call to order the City of Southport December 9th, 2021 regular Board of Aldermen meeting to order. We will first have our invocation followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Before we have our invocation by Pastor Devon Varnum, Southport Baptist Church. Appreciate you being here. You've done so much for our city. I remember the wonderful service you had for July 4th for our first responders, and I thank you for being here tonight. We will have a moment of silence first for William Bill Richard Evans, Jr. He is the father of city employee, permit technician, Tori Davini. Our condolences to Tori and her family. Please stand.
Our Father, as we come to you tonight, God, we are thankful for those who have given of leadership over the past many years and many hours so that this town would be in good hands. God, I pray for those that will be taking office, God, that you would guide them, that you would protect their families. God, I praise you, God, for all that you have done. As I read the mayor's article in the paper this past week, we're just so blessed in Southport. God, thank you for all that you're doing. God, thank you for the holiday season and how we get to celebrate it as a town. God, I pray that you would just guide us and that you would have your way with us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor Varnum. And again, remember Tori and her family in your prayers tonight. Item D is public comment. Madam Clerk?
Yes, ma'am, if you'd like to present.
If you would make sure the microphone is on and take off your mask, introduce yourself.
My name is Pamela Johnson. I reside at 101 Northeast 28th Street, Oak Island. And I am here with Dave as members of New Brunswick Baptist Church. We are starting a new tradition this year in that we are providing all those elected to office with a Bible that shows our pledge and support to uphold you in prayer this year, and not only those that are being placed in office now, but all those currently in office. But this is a new tradition. We have to start somewhere. So we'd like to call forward Dr. Joseph Haddam. We're praying for you as you lead our community, and we're here to serve our community.
Thank you. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you.
Karen Mosteller. Thank you for service. We're praying for you this upcoming year, and we're here to serve our community. Thank you. Rich Alt. Thank you for serving in our community. We'll be praying for you, and we're here to serve this community. And Mr. Robert Carroll. thank you, Mr. Carroll, for your service that is to come, and we'll be praying for you throughout the year. We're here to serve this community. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Ms. Johnson. Thank you for your prayers and for the Bibles. Anyone else, Madam Clerk?
Sure.
Is there anyone else here that did not sign up that would like to speak in public comment? Okay. All right. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda with a change. We have added in the consent agenda, and a second item is the short-term rental zoning renewal fees. And you have that in your, you have a handout for that. And that we have also, under the agenda, under item J, we're reversing that, that order. We will do the board election of the mayor pro tem first, and then we'll hear from the auditor. So I'll entertain a motion for the approval of the agenda as amended.
So moved.
Okay, Mr. Allen, and second by Alderman Mosteller. Any further discussion? Okay. All in favor? Okay, motion carried. Thank you. Next item is the ethics statement. If any members know of any conflict of interest or the appearance of a conflict of interest concerning matters on the agenda, please so state at this time. No conflicts. Thank you. Item F, approval of the consent agenda. Item 1 is the minutes, the regular meeting minutes from the November 11th, 2021 meeting. And the second item, and I will review that, is the short-term rental zoning renewal fees. And basically, that is that the those that paid for their permit, they paid a $100 fee, which is the fee, for the year, but obviously it was only 4 months for that year, roughly. So what we have done is we've prorated that fee. It comes down to $8.33 per month. So each current short-term rental permit holder would pay $33 and complete the permit renewal process online. And then in the following year, they would start with the $100 fee. So we're basically not making them pay a second $100, you know, so close in advance for 2022. So I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as listed. Alderman Lowe Davis, and second by Alderman Sharkey. Any further discussion? Okay. All in favor? Okay, motion carried. Thank you. Item G. This is a spectacular moment for our city. We have been blessed with, seriously, it's like July 4th fireworks. This is wonderful. Our state legislators, Senator Rabin, Representative Miller, and in particular Representative Miller, we've been friends a long time, have worked together a long time, and I am so grateful that he is in the position that he's in, and he has been such an advocate for the city of Southport and his district. So he's going to give us a check. There'll be a check presentation from him to the city of Southport.
Justice a little bit. Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Alderman. It's good to be home. You know, I've spent the last year in Raleigh, and we're still in session. We should have been out in July, but I have to be back January the 3rd, actually. But I bring greetings from your General Assembly and wish everybody a Merry Christmas. And I want to first thank Mark Spencer and Alderman Sharkey for their service. I really appreciate that, and congratulate the other 2 new members that will be seated tonight, and look forward to working with y'all. You know, when I first got to Raleigh, I thought, my gosh, what have I done? It's fast-paced, but, you know, Senator Rabin, who is a dear friend to many of us in this room, really has taken me under his wing, and we've worked hard together. His office is just down the hall from mine, so we meet about twice a week for coffee every morning. So we worked hard to get some things done for our district, and we were successful with the governor signing the budget. So, you know, early on, I called the mayor and I said, hey, I know y'all had a waterfront project that you were wanting to try to get funded. Would $5 million work for that to get it started? And I'll pledge to you tonight that I'm going to ask for another $5 million to complete that project in another year and a half when we go back, you know, start on the budget process again. But I'm very pleased to announce to you tonight that for Southport, and I knew you had some problems with your sewer, unforeseen problems that you did not anticipate, and I called him again. I said, hey, you know, how much do you need for that? And we were right in the middle of the budget process, and he said, we need another $1.4 million. So tonight I've got a check from myself and Senator Rabin and the General Assembly for the Howe Street project at $2.8 million. We actually got $1.4 million more than we bargained for. There's a little bonus there. So I've talked with your manager yesterday or the day before, and he said y'all could definitely use that for some lift station repairs and stuff of, you know, infrastructure. We also got $5 million for your waterfront stabilization, and $200,000 for Dozier Hospital and $150,000 for your Southport Fire Department. So we're very pleased to be able to present you a check for $8.1 million tonight. And you know, this is home. This is my home, and you know, I'm very proud to stand here not just as your representative, but also a Southport native. And you know, I grew up here on this waterfront. My dad teaching me how to flounder gig right here on this waterfront. So I know how important it is to all of us, and you know, it's part of our heritage. So if y'all would like to join me, I have a ceremonial check that you cannot try to cash tomorrow or deposit, but I do bring greetings from Senator Rabin, who is out of state doing some legislative work, but he sends his regrets that he couldn't be here, but know that he has Southport at heart, and so do I. So, you know, I look forward. I talked to the mayor yesterday, and I said, hey, I would like some time at your annual board retreat so we could all sit down and talk about the next year, what I can do. I'm your voice in Raleigh. It's not my house, it's your house. It's everybody's house. So let me help you, and let's keep moving Southport forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. I can tell you be number one on the list. Please, we understand. So thank you for being here, and thank you again for such a generous check that we will put to good use in Southport. You know that we'll be a good steward of that money. So thank you. Item H on our agenda will be the recognition of departing Southport Board of Aldermen, Alderman Laura Sharkey and Alderman Mark Spencer. Alderman Sharkey, if you would come up first. Whereas the City of Southport is always appreciative of those who choose to serve for the betterment of the city, and whereas Laura Sharkey has served the public for the last 40 years in emergency services, as a teaching assistant and in wildlife rescue and protection. And whereas Laura Sharkey was sworn in as a member of the Southport Board of Aldermen December 14th, 2017. Whereas she has graciously and passionately served the citizens of Southport for the past 4 years. And whereas Laura has served as a board liaison for the Rate Committee, Streetlight Committee, and participated in many city cleanup projects and projects with the Beautification Committee. And whereas the Board of Aldermen desires to recognize the outstanding service of Laura Sharkey to the citizens and the benefit that service has brought to the City of Southport. Now therefore be it resolved by the City of Southport Board of Aldermen, for and on behalf of the citizens of Southport, do hereby honor Laura Sharkey. We congratulate her on her service to the board and wish her well in all her future endeavors. Presented and approved at a regular meeting of the Southport Board of Aldermen this 9th of December, 2021. And now Alderman Spencer. Whereas the City of Southport is always appreciative of those who choose to serve for the betterment of the city. And whereas Mark Spencer was born and raised in Southport and knows the history and people as only a local would, and that has brought much joy and appreciation from your comments during your tenure, so thank you for that. Whereas Mark Spencer was sworn in as a member of the Southport Board of Aldermen December 14th, 2017. And whereas he has served the citizens of Southport with dedication and pride for the past 4 years. And whereas Mark has served as a board liaison for the ABC Board Committee and is active in his church community. And whereas the Board of Aldermen desires to recognize the outstanding service of Mark Spencer to the citizens and the benefit that service has brought to the City of Southport. Now therefore be it resolved by the City of Southport Board of Aldermen, on behalf of the citizens of Southport, do hereby honor Mark Spencer. We congratulate him on his service to the board and wish him well in all his future endeavors. Presented and approved at a regular meeting of the Southport Board of Aldermen this 9th of December, 2021. Next item on the agenda will be the swearing in of the mayor and new aldermen, and we're grateful to have this administered by the Honorable Jason Disbrow, NC Superior Court Judge for District 13. So we appreciate you being here tonight, Judge Disbrow, and
thank you, Mr. Mayor.
And we thank you for your service in many ways.
May I have a moment of personal privilege?
Absolutely.
Please, as a citizen here in Southport, I'm honored to be administering these oaths of office, but I also wanted to take a moment and commend all of you who have served on our board here and those of you who have stepped up willing to serve in Southport. I love this place. I'm not a native. I have 2 native sons, but I am someone who is an elected official who took over at a very difficult time, like many of you. And I have had to make difficult decisions, like many of you. I think it's important for all of us to remember that we may not always agree on the way things are, the way we want them to be, but in this room, I know one thing is certain. We all love Southport. And we all have a desire in our heart to do what we think is right for Southport. And in this season of hope, it's my hope that going forward we can always remember that whatever decision is being made by our elected officials, we always remember that at the heart of that decision, those folks are doing what they think is best. So I didn't want to leave tonight without all of you knowing my appreciation for what you do for us here in Southport. So without further ado, Mr. Mayor, you ready to come up and take your renewed oath of office? You want to come over here? Sure. I state your name. Do solemnly and sincerely swear that I will support the Constitution and laws of the United States, that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the state of North Carolina and to the constitutional powers and which all or may be established with government thereof, that I will endeavor to support, maintain, and defend the Constitution and laws of said state, not inconsistent with the Constitution of the United States, to the best of my knowledge and ability, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of my office as mayor. So help me God.
Thank you. Oh, yes, thank you. I love that. Okay. Oh, right here, too. Thank you. It's okay, great. Thank you. Thank you so much. Follow me.
I state your name.
I, Karen Moscow,
Do solemnly and sincerely swear
do solemnly and sincerely swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution and laws of the United States,
the Constitution and laws of the United States,
that I will be faithful
that I will be faithful
and bear true allegiance
and bear true allegiance
to the state of North Carolina
to the state of North Carolina
and to the constitutional powers and authorities
and to the constitutional powers and authorities
which are or may be established
which are or may be established
for the government thereof,
for the government thereof,
that I will endeavor
that I will endeavor
to support, maintain, and defend
to support, maintain, and defend
the Constitution and laws of said state,
the Constitution and laws of said state,
not inconsistent
not inconsistent
with the Constitution of the United States,
with the Constitution of the United States,
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
and that I will faithfully
faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of my office as Alderman,
of my office as Alderman.
so help me God.
And we will take a 5-minute recess, please.
traditionally.
Okay, if we'll find your seats, Alderman, and we will continue with our swearing-in ceremonies. Will be Mr. Rich Alt.
His glasses on. He's trying to get through without the glasses. We're going to do these up here because I've been told that they couldn't hear them at home on the live stream. If you'll put your left hand on the Bible, raise your right hand, and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Richard B. Alt,
Come this way, Richard. Do solemnly and sincerely swear
do solemnly and sincerely swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution and laws of the United States,
the Constitution and laws of the United States,
that I will be faithful
that I will be faithful
and bear true allegiance
and bear true allegiance
to the state of North Carolina
to the state of North Carolina
and to the constitutional powers
and to the constitutional powers
and authorities
and authorities
which are or may be established
which are or may be established
for the government thereof,
for the government thereof,
that I will endeavor
that I will endeavor
to support, maintain, and defend
to support, maintain, and defend
the Constitution and laws of said state,
the Constitution and laws of said state,
not inconsistent
not inconsistent
with the Constitution of the United States,
with the Constitution of the United States,
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
to the best of my knowledge and abilities,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
discharge the duties of my office
discharge the duties of my office
as Alderman.
as Alderman.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Rich.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for stepping up. Here you go.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Carroll, last but not least, come on up. You got your own cheering section. You gonna hold the Bible?
You gotta hold it up high there.
If you just speak loud so they can hear.
Yeah.
Okay. I state your name.
I, Robert Carroll,
Do solemnly and sincerely swear
do solemnly and sincerely swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the United States,
of the United States,
that I will be faithful
that I will be faithful
and bear true allegiance
and bear true allegiance
to the state of North Carolina
to the state of North Carolina
and to the constitutional powers
and to the constitutional powers
and authorities
and authorities
which are or may be established
which are or may be established
for the government thereof,
for the government thereof,
that I will endeavor
that I will endeavor
to support, maintain, and defend
to support, maintain, and defend
the Constitution and laws of said state,
the Constitution and laws of said state,
not inconsistent
not inconsistent
with the Constitution of the United States,
with the Constitution of the United States,
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
discharge the duties of my office
discharge the duties of my office
as Alderman.
as Alderman.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, and thank you for stepping up. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Need you to sign right here, Robert. Bye.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Well, thank you, Judge Disbrow. Now we have a full board again. So thank you so much. Merry Christmas to you. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, I was told that the mayor was going to swear in the mayor pro tem. I'm glad to do it if you want me to.
Even more so, we'll do that right now, in that way while you're still here.
Sure.
She would like that. So we will go to agenda item. We'll do the board election of the mayor pro tem, and I've worked with Mayor Pro Tem Mosteller for 2 years. She has been an excellent partner in our process as we've gone through these past 2 years. It is a board decision, so I will entertain a motion for the office of Mayor Pro Tem.
I move to elect Karen Marcello to serve as Mayor Pro Tem.
Second.
We have a first by Alderman Lombardi and a second by Alderman Allen. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you. And we'll have the swearing in.
Okay. Just hold it and raise your right hand.
Can I take it?
Of course you can. Ready? There you go. You ready?
Yes, sir.
I state your name.
I, Karen Mosteller,
Do solemnly and sincerely swear
do solemnly and sincerely swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
and laws of the United States,
and laws of the United States,
that I will be faithful
that I will be faithful
and bear true allegiance
and bear true allegiance
to the state of North Carolina
to the state of North Carolina
and to the constitutional powers
and to the constitutional powers
and authorities
and authorities
which are or may be established
which are or may be established
for the government thereof,
for the government thereof,
that I will endeavor
that I will endeavor
to support, maintain, and defend
to support, maintain, and defend
the Constitution and laws of said state,
the Constitution and laws of said state,
not inconsistent
not inconsistent
with the Constitution of the United States,
with the Constitution of the United States,
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
discharge the duties of my office
discharge the duties of my office
as Mayor Pro Tem,
as Mayor Pro Tem,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations, Karen. Good job. Absolutely. Good job.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you, and congratulations, Mayor Pro Tem. Looking forward to serving with you and all the board. And we appreciate again the service of our previous board members, Alderman Sharkey, Alderman Spencer, and we welcome Alderman Carroll and Alderman Alt. So we're at a full board again. It is a process. It is a transition, and it's part of our democracy, and we're grateful in Southport for that. Next on the agenda is the audit presentation, and we welcome you, sir. And this is a presentation only. There will not be any action taken on this.
So good evening, Mr. Mayor, Alderman. You should have a copy of the presentation summary in front of you. If you'd be kind enough to flip to page 1. I will admit I've followed a lot of things in my life. I've been doing this for about 36 years, but it's difficult to follow an $8.1 million check and kids holding the Bible for their dad. It's tough to follow that. But I do have a good report, so that's a good thing. So on page 1, there were no significant audit findings. On page 2, there were no difficulties in performing the audit. No uncorrected misstatements, no disagreements with management. Management did provide us with a representation letter. That's obviously a misprint. It's November 12th. I apologize for that. We're unaware that management consulted with the outside accountants, etc. A couple of items of note. We did have to make some adjustments to reclassify some things. We encourage you to review all your outstanding accounts receivable. There were some permits that were calculated incorrectly, and there were some deposits that weren't quite tracked during that period of time. So we encourage you to do some of that. On page 3, there were some transfers to capital projects that weren't made during the year timely. And there was a golden leaf reimbursement that wasn't submitted timely as well. All of those, though, were correctable and are being corrected, so we think we're fine. There were no mentions in the audit report itself of those items, which goes to the significance, in our opinion, of those items. On page 4, I don't say that I know all the key items in the audit report, but these are some of the key numbers in the audit report. And what we attempt to do is put those numbers on the first column, and then so that you have some context or I'm able to have some trend information. We put the previous 4 years audit report numbers to the right of that, so you can see what might be trending on any specific number. You can see there at the top, total fund balance in your general fund was $4,955,000. If you were to go back to 2017, that's $2,207,000, so a very nice improvement. Unavailable fund balance at $1,485,000, non-spendable at $1,521,000. General fund expenditures plus transfers, $8,938,000. Fund balance available as a percentage is 38.82, and then unassigned fund balance at $3.4 million, and unassigned fund balance as a percentage at 38.42. Revenues over and under expenses before contributions and transfers, and total in general funds positive $1,707,000. The electric fund was a positive $1,724,000. The water sewer fund was a positive $647,000. Total fixed assets in your water sewer fund was $24.8 million. Accumulated depreciation is $8.5, and the cash is $4,295,000. Electric fund total fixed assets $16.2. Accumulated depreciation is 5.2, and then cash is 6.4. Cash in each of the funds, in the general fund is $4,040,000. Electric fund 6.473. The water sewer is $4,295,000. And then other governmental funds at $1,002,000. Fund balance again in the general fund is $4,955,000. Electric fund is $17.5, and the water sewer is $18,576,000. And other governmentals $1,148,000. You can see the property tax rates next for all 5 years, and then the collection percentages there at 99.07, which is the highest of any of the 5 years shown, and then property valuation and levy amounts are next. And if you'd be kind enough to flip over to page 5, you can see total debt there in the governmental activities, and this does exclude OPEB, compensated absences, and retirement system. And then you see, so governmental activity is $2,015,000, which is a decline from 2.5 in 17. Business type activities is $692,000, which again is a decline from 1.1 million in 17. Then you see a breakdown there of your general fund revenues and a breakdown of your general fund expenditures. If you'd be kind enough to flip over to page 6. You can see a very nice trend line there in your total fund balance in your general fund, and you see the restricted in red as well. On the bottom of that page, you can see total fund balance available for the town or city in blue, and then the group weighted average in red. And on top of the next page, on page 7, the analysis of unassigned fund balance as a percentage there in blue. Let me say this, this dip on both of these percentages is a result of two things. One, there's an outstanding receivable at the end of the year from DOT on the 211 project, which is restricted, which causes, even though your fund balance went up, your available fund balance, it goes down just a little bit because you're waiting on that reimbursement. And that reimbursement is $858,000. It has been received, so it's just a timing issue on that. And there was an increase in total expenditures and transfers. The $1.2 million transfer counts as a part of the expenditures. And the mathematics on that causes the percentage to drop. So even though your fund balance went up, everything's positive, the mathematics on this causes the percentages to drop a little bit. It doesn't mean anything negative, it's just a mathematical equation, okay? But I still show it because the fund balance available, not the unassigned fund balance. The fund balance available is what the state statute's based on. The state statute minimum is 8.33%. Way over that, everything's positive, but I'm still going to track it, still want you to see it. On the bottom of that page, you can see the analysis of revenues, over and under expenses before transfers and contributions. You can see for all 5 years, all 3 of these funds are positive, which is excellent. On the top of page 8, you can see the total fixed assets, accumulated depreciation, and cash. On the bottom of that same page, you can see your cash balances, fund balances, in pie charts with the respective numbers underneath. Total cash balance is $16 million. Total fund balance is $42 million. I do want to say this, even though you have high net positions or fund balances in your water sewer fund, electric fund, those are really, because you don't have a plan to sell those, are irrelevant to some degree. What you're really looking for is cash flow. And so when you look back on page 4, you can see that they both had revenues over and under expenses, profit, if you will, $1,007,000 electric, $647,000 again in the water sewer. And if you look down under cash flow, both were showing either a slight uptick or basically maintaining the same. And cash flow could be maintaining the same, could be a result of capital expenditures, etc. So you're accomplishing what you want in those two funds is my main purpose there. And then on page 9, you can see the property tax rates for the city and the group weighted average. And then you can see on the bottom of that page the collection percentages, and you can see where the city is higher than the group weighted average and the statewide average for the 2020 year, which is the last data we have available. And 99% is a good, a very good collection rate. On top of page 10, you can see your property valuation and levy amounts. On the bottom of that page, you can see a breakdown of your general fund revenue. It's nice to know your sales tax revenue and other intergovernmental revenue is higher than your property tax revenue, even though you got a great collection percentage. It gives you a good revenue base. And then on page 11, you see a pie chart there with your percentages. You can see where public safety is by far the most at 46.66%. Again, what you really hire us to do is issue an opinion on the financial statements as a whole. We issue an unmodified report, which is a quote-unquote clean or good report. As I was talking to the finance officer earlier today, even though it's been submitted to the LGC's running behind on evaluating all the, or approving all the audit reports. And so some of the stuff you may have may end up with draft, et cetera, on it because they're all focused on debt issuance with where interest rates are, et cetera. So hopefully that gets done quickly, not anticipating any changes, et cetera. But I'm happy to answer any questions you've got of me now. Or as you get your report and you read through it, you're always welcome to give me a call. If I happen not to be at the office, tell them to give you my cell number and I'll get you an answer. And we appreciate you allowing our firm to do the audit.
Thank you for the graphics. They're just fantastic to help to understand what our city is doing, and it looks like that the city is in excellent financial shape at this time. There have been times when the city was not in as good of financial condition, so thank you for that. Any questions?
I just had one question, where it says group weighted average, is that towns our size, or what comprises that?
It is towns, cities, or municipalities of similar population, and we can send you the makeup of that group weighted average, because I end up with a disclaimer in most cases, because in some cases it's a good comparison, in other cases it's not. And I used an example earlier today when I made a presentation. If I have a coastal town versus a rural town that had the same population, they may have dramatically different demographics, et cetera. So sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. But if you go through who are members of that group weight, of the average there, then you're able to pick and choose what you think is a good comparison. So I can send that to the finance officer, that group that you're a part of, and you can take a look.
Any other questions? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for the report.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you. Okay, next item on the agenda, committee reports. Alderman Allen? Okay, thank you. Alderman Lowe Davis, committee reports.
Thank you. The Forestry Committee meets next week, Tuesday, at Indian Trail at 5 o'clock. We have a very interesting, I think, article in the newsletter that came out December the 1st about Christmas trees, about the Christmas tree industry in North Carolina, which is major. And I just found out that in the St. Thomas and the U.S. Virgin Islands, that is where the Christmas trees that are sold there, all of them, come from North Carolina. And they're all eagerly waiting to see the ship come in and offload the Christmas trees from North Carolina. Glad to know that. The article also talks about whether it's a good idea to try to get a live tree, a potted live tree, and then replant it in your yard. I won't tell you the answer to that question. Read the article, please. That's it. Thank you.
Alderman Lombardi?
Really nothing new in beautification. We worked hard getting all the decorations, the lights in order, and now we're just enjoying to see all the lights. There is a scheduled meeting of the Board of Adjustment on the 21st. We haven't had one in a while, so this is scheduled. That's it.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Just real quick, the rate committee is scheduled to meet Tuesday, December 21st at 2 o'clock. Tom, I was going to ask, what time is your Board of Adjustment meeting? Do you know? 12:30. Okay, good. We'll be done. At the Indian Trail Meeting Hall at 113 West Moore Street beside the library. So that's Tuesday, December 21st at 2 p.m. Thank you.
Manager's report. Mr. Hargrove.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to do a quick update on several projects that we are currently working on here in the city. The first one is Taylor Field, the Taylor Field project. We are expecting bids. We will start sending out bids on February 2nd or the beginning of February, as long as we are not held up by any additional comments on our application. The second phase of the city dock repair should start around the middle of January. The exemption will be issued at that point by CAMA, so we're looking forward to completing that project. Kingsley Pier, we are expecting bids to be in by December 17th, so all three of those projects are progressing nicely. I'd like to touch base really quick on the sewer plant expansion. The engineering report has gone in to the state. We are looking at permitting and gaining easements at this point. It is taking a little bit longer than expected, but we expect that project to go out to bid in early spring. The House Street paving project, we will probably be looking at that sometime in early March as well. The road should have settled by that time, and we will come in and put the overlay on that section of road that was disturbed at that point. Staff is still reviewing the Indigo project at this point. We have received some proposals for an impact analysis from some different vendors who can provide that for us. We are expecting one more. Once we have received that proposal, we will sit down and discuss what direction that we're going to pursue. That is all I have tonight. I'd just like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Hargrove. Mayor's comments. I just want to say that I think Southport has had one of the most beautiful Christmases that the city has ever had, and I just want to thank every city department for participating and collaborating with the different civic organizations. And I'll be biased and pick two that they were all great, but I thought that the candy cane, if you made it to the candy cane garden, that was just like a winter wonderland. So that was just fantastic. The tree lighting was like a Hallmark moment. So thank you, Department of Tourism, our plant services, it's plant operations, but at the hospital, public services. I get that wrong every time. Tish has to correct that when I write it. Our Parks and Rec. First Lady and I went to the supper with Santa's elves. Thank you, Heather. That was a wonderful event. And look at your that Winterfest is continuing. It's just such a great week. Tomorrow night we have the Light Up the Night Christmas Parade, and there's just so many events. I won't list all of them. I do want to mention the annual Fire Department Awards Banquet. As mayor, I was fortunate to attend, and they asked me to speak and be there. And that's one of the great things about being mayor of this wonderful city, is to be able to be with those men and women that Saturday night. And I want you to know that I was able to be a part of the, well, first of all, just to hear about the training that these men and women have done this past year and their heroic efforts and responses during the year. And I was able to participate in a recognition ceremony. We are so lucky in Southport and so grateful in Southport. Our fire chief Charles Drew celebrated his 30-year anniversary in the fire department, and he is following the legacy of his father and his grandfather, and also a young man who started out in Parks and Recreation and somehow ended up on the fire department, and also served 30 years, Police Chief Todd Coring. So for your 30 years of service, I'm going to stand up and applaud. make sure you look at the Winterfest schedule and make sure you go to these events. There are two more things. As you know, Dozier Hospital is close to my heart and always will be. You know, we love this city, and we love the parts of the city that make, whether it's our neighborhoods, our yacht basin, the beautiful waterfront. But our hospital is so important to our community. And I want to congratulate Randy Jones. He is, I had the honor of swearing him in, and Linda Pecanis as a member of the Board of Trustees. So thank you, Randy, for that service. And thank you, and Lisa and Kate Marshall, for all y'all have done during during Winterfest. And Kate, I couldn't make the pets, but I heard that was a fantastic turnout, so thank you. And I also want to recognize Dr. Brad Heileman. Many of you know Dr. Brad Heileman. He's been here 26 years. GYN was recruited 26 years ago, and recently has been our CEO for the last 2 years. He is retiring. They had a wonderful ceremony for him in the lobby of the hospital, so we're grateful to him for his service. And again, just grateful to all the city employees who have helped to make this Winterfest and this week of Christmas, especially compared to last year when it was all virtual. And that was still beautiful, but it wasn't the same. I mean, the electricity in the village could light up the sky, literally. So, First Lady and I wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and a happy, healthy New Year, and congratulations to the new board members for being here. And for the board members that I've been working with for 2 years, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Hargrove. It's been a good, not quite 2 years, but getting there. And City Attorney, thank you. So let's have a joyful Merry Christmas. And as you know, I'm always thinking about the pandemic, and 3 shots you need to have. Wear your mask. Please be careful. And please just promote your family members and friends. This is it's not going away. The numbers are going up. It's endemic. It means it's going to be here. So please be mindful of that. So thank you. The staff reports are in your packet. And now we'll go with our board comments. Alderman Allen.
Thank you, Mayor. I just have a couple of things real quick. I want to extend my sincere thanks and appreciation and congratulations to Gordon, our city manager, and Melanie Trexler, our finance director, and all of her staff and the entire city staff on great work on the not only on maintaining the fiscal high fiscal standards for our city, but also on getting the audit done in a timely fashion. We've had some issues with that in the past, and we've Gordon promised that we would solve those issues, and we have. And the city is in excellent financial shape, and I think the citizens should be very pleased with the financial status of our city. We're in an excellent position, thanks to all their hard work. I also want to just looking forward a little bit. Starting in January, we'll be beginning our annual budget planning work. We've got some very large issues that we're going to be have to tackle coming up, and I think we will. I know we will successfully tackle them, but we are going to have to make some big decisions coming up for the cities, and I'd encourage all the citizens to stay apprised of that effort and provide us with your input on those issues as we begin discussing them in January and working towards a new budget that we'll adopt next June. I want to welcome Robert and Rich to the board. I'm looking forward to working with them, as I know we all are. We're pleased to have y'all here with us. And I just want to wish everybody safe and happy holiday season, and look forward to seeing everybody after the new year. Thank you.
Thank you. And Alderman Carroll.
Hey, good evening, and thank you to the City of Southport for this opportunity to serve. I'm excited. You know, having the kids up here, this is what it's all about. The mayor's comments about Winterfest, this has been the best Winterfest we've ever experienced. I had a meeting and missed the candy cane garden party, which looked like a lot of fun. The kids made it, Michelle made it, and I was just a little late. But thanks for all of these great opportunities, everyone who participates in those, for making it happen. Yeah, thanks for the opportunity, and Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Alderman Carroll. Alderman Alt?
I'd like to echo what Robert said. Thank you very much for everybody for the past election process. And I'm going to have Randy help me later on, because I'm not sure how this equates to people on the shoreline. But Randy, just one of the groups that went out and advertised the flotilla for Saturday night has had over 90,000 hits just from one group, and all the groups have gone out and tried to advertise it. So this flotilla has brought in every single maritime group, yacht club, boating group, everything together, and they've all been encouraged to advertise it, and I think it should be a pretty good event. I think we're up to at least 22 boats so far, and still counting. And to everybody, Merry Christmas, goodwill to men.
Thank you, Mr. Alt. Madam Alderman Lowe Davis.
Thank you. Ditto to what everybody else said. And if you're like me and you have not done all your Christmas shopping, I'd like to mention that the Friends of the Library December book sale, used book sale, is this Saturday from 1:30 to 4. Great place to get books, art books, cookbooks, reference books, history books, trashy novels, whatever you want. You know how to please people, right? And as we've said before, everything that the Friends of the Library goes to support this library and the one on Oak Island. And the county provides the building and the staff, but everything else is supported by what the Friends of the Library can raise. So see you there on Saturday afternoon. Thank you.
We'll be there for the trashy and the good novels, right?
You bet.
All right. Alderman Lombardi.
Yeah, welcome to Robert and Rich. I look forward to working with you. And I would like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a healthy, happy New Year, and enjoy every day.
Thank you. Well said. Well said. Mayor Pro Tem.
I also echo the comments of the mayor and my fellow board members. Feeling gratitude and not expressing it is like wrapping a present and not giving it. So I would like to take a moment to say thank you. Representative Miller and Senator Rabin, thank you for your service. We are grateful for their generous accessibility and willingness to listen and their work on behalf of our community. In the day-to-day, as citizens of Southport, we are indebted to the talented individuals that work for the city. With humility, we recognize that we can never repay you for all the countless, unseen things you do for the good of the city and our citizens. Whether it's public works that keeps our city running, or our police and fire departments that keep us safe, or the communications and tourism and the parks and rec departments that help maintain our culture. We are a city that is blessed with committed individuals that work here. Also, we recognize our neighbors who share their time and talents day to day for the benefit of the city they love. The spirit of volunteerism in our community appears boundless. Whether it's the beautification committee, planting,
bulbs or helping spread Christmas cheer, or the Forestry Committee helping to watch over our beloved trees, or the kindness of neighbors checking on neighbors. I am so very proud to be part of a community that all of these people live in. To paraphrase Dr. Martin Luther King, everybody can be great because anybody can serve. You only need a heart full of grace and a soul generated by love. For all these reasons, Southport is this awesome place we call home. Safe and happy holidays to everyone.
Well said, Board, and a Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. And I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. All right, second, meeting adjourned.